Next up, we have Shivtosh from Sugarfit. Over to you, Shivtosh.
Thanks
I
for
think you're on mute. Yeah. Hey.
I'll just try to present my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, we can.
Cool. So I'll quickly start. Good morning, everyone. I'm from Sugarfit, a co-founder at Sugarfit. And just to give you a brief introduction, right? Sugarfit, we have just built this product, which kind of helps people reverse both type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes using a lot of things. And I'll talk about that as I go in. So today, what I wanted to speak about is how is our AI, how is our tech kind of building that holistic solution and helping people reverse type 2 diabetes. So we all know, right, that type 2 diabetes has become like a major problem in India. It's a lifestyle chronic care condition. We have unfortunately become the diabetes capital of the world. We have like close to 70, 75 million people who are type 2, some 80 million people who are pre, so almost 150 million people who are kind of identified as diabetics, and many more who are not even diagnosed. So it has become like a key problem in India and across the world. So the objective of the study that we have done was, in retrospective, can we figure out that what is the combined impact of various lifestyle intervention that we have on our sugar fit approach, and how does that impact your three important things? One is your HbA1c, the second one is your fasting blood sugar, and the third is your body weight. And then kind of figure out that what are the interventions that we are having, how each of these is impacting the three objectives, and then kind of curate on those, dig deep on those, and kind of figure out that which are the most important ones. Yeah. So we have done this study on 150 individuals who are type 2 diabetic. That was the test group. And in control group, we had 110 individuals, again on type 2 diabetes, again with type 2 diabetes, but who were on usual pharmacological treatment. The study was done over a period of 90 days. Now, before we get into the study and the results, I just wanted to bring your attention to what we are doing at Sugarfit and what are the key problem statements we are solving, right? And I think Vishal and Bhuvan very clearly pointed out the first one, that there is a lack of continued motivation today and that habit formation, because diabetes is a lifestyle problem. There is not a miracle pill, right, that you'll have and tomorrow you are all sorted. It's a lifestyle problem, and it will require a lifestyle, small habits that need to change, that needs to form, which will help you over the long term. The second key problem is today the existing stakeholders work in silos. You have doctors, you have nutritionists, you have physical trainers, all of them work in silos. And then the kind of interventions that you get, the lifestyle interventions basically, are very generic and lacks personalization. And that is where we come into play. The whole program is centered around a doctor and a nutritionist who are also your coaches. And then on top of it, we have a layer of AI which kind of helps these people to take better decisions about you, to create those personalized plan. We also have FDA approved sensors, Libre sensors, which is given to all our users, which can give us real time insights into their food, fitness, sleep, and the impact of that on their overall glucose levels. We also do multiple comprehensive checks, diagnostic tests, 70 plus parameters after every 3 months, because that is where we get a lot of data about the users and also know the progress, how they are progressing for their HbA1c levels. And we have a doctor who does multiple number of consults with the user, because in the end, a doctor is one who will be able to take decisions on your medicines. And then we create a very highly personalized plan. And these plans will be around your food, around your fitness, around your sleep, and around your healthy habits as well. So what we are trying to build here at Sugarfit is a very connected ecosystem, because data is really helpful, right? And data, like how Vishal was saying, that reward is one form of motivation. What we believe is, while reward is important, what is also important is it should come intrinsically. Extrinsic kind of a reward might not work in long term. So we are solving for that instant gratification, that the moment I have a food, am I able to tell you what is the impact of that food on your glucose level? The moment you do exercise, am I able to tell you how good or bad that exercise was? And then if you form that habit in the long term, what is the impact it is going to have on your HbA1c levels? Now, to do that, it is important to get data, right? So that is why we have built a very connected ecosystem. You'll be able to connect all your fitness wearables. We have also made logging an activity, which is a big pain point today, very simple. So now you can take a picture, upload, and we'll be able to tell you and register that what are the items that you ate, what is the calorie and all that stuff. You can even do voice based logging, because a lot of people, if even if you don't understand English, it's available in 5 regional languages as well, where you can just open the app and say I had roti today morning, 4 rotis, and then I'll be able to track that, give you the calorie. You can even log today using WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, you can go on the Sugarfit WhatsApp chat and you can just say this is what I had today, and the system will kind of register that. We have your CGMs, your connected glucometers, and we are working on phase-based vital recording. This is again in beta phase with some of our users, where we'll be able to look at you for 15 to 30 seconds, and accordingly, we'll be able to generate a lot of data about you. And with these connected ecosystem, what we are able to get is close to 100 plus signals, which are being captured on a day-to-day basis. And accordingly, I'm able to create your own persona. So we know that if you eat this food tomorrow, this is the impact that it is going to have on your sugar levels. If you do this exercise, this is the impact it is going to have. If you do not sleep for a certain number of hours, if the number of hypos in your night are these many, then this is the impact that it is going to have on your sugar levels. And this data is presented both to the user, to the doctor, and to the coach. And accordingly, your coach and your doctor will be able to create these personalized plans. So you'll have your real-time metabolic scores. You'll have actionable insights, which are also real time, that if something happened, we'll be able to tell you now is the time you do these things, because you are in a hypo state or you are in a hyper state. All your meal plans are highly quantified. And what I mean by quantified is we do not believe in fat dieting. So there is no keto, there is no GM diet. It's all what you eat in your kitchen, but it's all calorie counted. For your, not just calorie counted, also your macro and micro counted, because every individual is very different, and we understand that what will be the impact of certain calorie on your body. We focus a lot on fitness and mindfulness, because we understand that the 3 tripods, right, are your nutrition, fitness, and mindfulness. Just nutrition will not help. So we have plethora of personalized classes that we do on fitness for every individual personally, as well as group classes that are run on our app, which users can attend, and a lot of mindfulness sessions and one-on-one videos which are given to all our users. And then medicine titration is left to the doctors, because they are the best judge of that. And this is how we create a very personalized, very comprehensive plan for all our users, which help them kind of reverse their diabetes in short to medium term. So these are just some of the snapshots of the app. I think I'll just skip through it. So you can see a real-time graph on your app. You can see the impact of different food, which are the food which are good, bad, ugly for you. Coming to the results, right? So like I was saying, the 3 key parameters that we have tracked, the North Star metric, are HbA1c, your FBS, and your body weight. So in HbA1c, the baseline of the control group was, of the test group, was 9. And what we saw is within 90-day period, we were able to reduce it to 7.1. So that means a mean decrease of 1.9 points in HbA1c level. Whereas the control group, what we saw was it started with 7.13, but it was able to almost stay stagnant or slightly increase to 7.18. What you see on the table here on the top right is what was the different HbA1c level buckets, and what was the age bucket, and how did your HbA1c level drop. So anyone in 6.5 to 7.5 with the age of 20 to 35 was able to reduce 1.27 points in their HbA1c level. And just to again clarify, this is just a 90-day program, 90-day result, whereas our program is for complete year. And we are very sure that most of them will be able to reverse their diabetes in the next 3 months. So within 6 months period, close to 90% of our users will be able to reverse their diabetes, like get it below 6.5 HbA1c and no active glycemic medication. Similar results was seen for blood sugar level, your FBS. We started with 178 as an average, and we were able to get it down to 116, whereas, and the mean reduction was close to 62, whereas in our control group, it started with 142 and it almost remains stagnant at 141. Again, age-wise, what you can see is people who are slightly younger were able to reduce it more, because again, they are very, we were able to do a lot of fitness interventions also with them, and hence you see a slightly higher number here. But overall, we see that 62-point reduction in your FBS levels. And very similar was the story for your weight as well. So the average weight was 76 kg. Within 90-day period, we were able to reduce it by 2.83 kg, close to 3 kgs. Whereas in your control group, that number was again almost stagnant or slightly increased from 73.2 to 73.8. Just one caveat here, because a lot of the mean weight loss is only 2.83, because not all of our participants were in that category of weight loss goal. There were some in weight gain, and there were some who had a normal BMI range, and hence they were in a maintained bucket. So these 79% were in a weight loss category, and there we were able to reduce their weight by 3.18 kgs.
Shivtosh, just a quick time check. I think we've
I think I just have 10 seconds. 10, 15 seconds. So there's a summary. So HbA1c dropped by 1.87, FBS dropped by 62, and average weight change of 2.8 kg. What I really wanted to highlight as a conclusion, right, that we believe that these intensive daily lifestyle interventions that we give, that slow approach, that building that habit is the way to go, because that is something which is sustainable and it will give you a long-term everlasting impact. We also felt that the moment you have a coach, right, who is always holding you accountable, who is always telling you whether you are on the right track or no, or if there is someone who you can go back and kind of talk about your problems, that really helps. And that was also seen here, that people who had more actively engaged with the coach, with the community, saw a slightly higher reduction in their HbA1c and in their weight loss gain. And the biggest problem, like I was talking about, is getting the input metrics from the user. So more and more you build a connected ecosystem where you are automatically able to take that data. I think your life will be easier and you will be able to give more insights to the user, because while user wants to know insight, they do not want to invest a lot of time in kind of inputting a lot of these data to you. And then finally, like, this is like a ever learning model, right? We have just started, and a lot of more and more data we get, more and more customers we get, we'll be able to create a slightly more personalized plan going forward. So the goal is to create a highly personalized plan for each users and help them reverse their type 2 and pre-diabetes. Yeah, thanks. Any questions?
So we don't see any questions on the chat. If there are no questions, just in the interest of time, I think we could move to the next presenter, Dr. Amit, Dr. Ami. Please let us know your thoughts.
So Mr. Shivtosh, thank you for a wonderful presentation. I think this is the need of the hour. We need to kind of, sensitize our patients about the regular needs of monitoring and the lifestyle changes. So I guess, yes, good presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shivtosh, I just want to bring a point to everyone who is presenting here. And this is a general perception of medical community, that all these programs which are presented here and which are in development, which various companies are making, the doctor is just like a third party to it. It is not part of the ecosystem. So unless and until you make them part of the ecosystem, only few doctors on your panel and some of the doctors were consulting all the patients, this model is not going to work out. This is what I believe. Because the number of the diabetes patients are so huge. You cannot have thousands of doctors on your panel. You cannot, this is something a big challenge. And the number of people with diabetes are in millions in India. And it is the same all across the world. And they are rising very sharply. So unless and until you make the doctors part of the ecosystem, and so that they lead the care, and we define our own boundaries at what we are going to do as a platform, what we are going to do as a tech expert, but we bring into the ecosystem. So I think this is one suggestion where I think we all can work upon. And if this happens, then definitely you will see a huge surge in acceptance of these molecules. Let me just tell you, yesterday we had a European Diabetes Forum presentation, and they were talking about some apps. So now they have apps which are being prescribed by the doctors, and these are validated tools. So this is something called digital therapeutics. So if you want a prescription from a doctor of a digital tool, then it has to qualify as a digital therapeutics. And digital therapeutics is for everyone. Anybody can prescribe it. So not just a few doctors who are on a panel of somebody. So this is my opinion. Rest is all up to you what you feel. But this is I personally feel.
No, completely agree, doctor. Yeah, sorry. Completely agree, Dr. And that is where I started, right? That at the core of our product is a doctor and a coach. Our life is to make their life easier. We cannot say that we will prescribe medicine, right? Because doctor at the end of the day will have to do it. A coach will prescribe a nutrition. Where Sugarfit comes is we create systems which helps doctor and coaches create a personalized plan for a user. So that is what the core is, a doctor and a coach, and around them is where we come into play. So you're very right. Like doctor has to be a core part of this.
Just I would like Dr. Amit to comment on this also, that is it right to use the word reverse diabetes everywhere? Reverse diabetes becomes a big terminology. So we are diabetologists, we're treating patients day in and day out. So reverse would be, getting under control or, reducing the dose of medicines would go as a right way. Reversing is a big terminology when we use it.
I think the reversal claim seems to be more attractive. That is why the terminology is used more and more. I think recovery is the right word. You can say that somebody has recovered from Dr. Navneet, I know you you have many things to say that. Reversal can happen, but we need to place it at the right spectrum of the we need to place it at the right spectrum of the disease management. First, anyway, it is the recovery. Somebody who is coming with a very high HbA1c, he has to go into a recovery mode. Then there is a remission mode, whether he is able to maintain or not. And then comes the process of the reversal. At the same time, when you talk about the reversibility, I think it is the cellular reversibility. The ability of a cell to reverse from a permanent damage to a reversible phase. It is something more at the microscopic level which we are aiming at. If somebody reverses from a phase of fatty liver to a stage of non-fatty liver, I think that is a reversal for me. If somebody is at a risk of developing retinopathy and that patient ends up with resolution of the retina lesions, then that is a reversal for me. So I think everyone has a different perception, and Dr. Navneet wants to say something. Please, Dr. Navneet, go ahead.
Basically, the reversal is a very lucrative term. Otherwise, the term has been redefined that it is remission. As we use remission in the cancers, as we use remission, because like we know that once the patient is maintaining this lifestyle, which has been advised by anyone, patient is in remission. Once he'll stop that lifestyle, again he'll have a diabetes. If he'll get, even after the remission of the bariatric surgery, like basically the remission and reversal, they all come into play after the bariatric surgery. When we found that after the bariatric surgery, patient is now normoglycemic. But I have seen so many patients, and I'm sure you all must have seen so many patients, that the patients who are undergone bariatric surgery 4 or 5 years back, now again they are having a weight and they are at the same weight, and now they are diabetic and they are taking treatment. So remission is, I think, a more we can say apt word, and as Dr. Amit was rightly saying, that it is a metabolic remission or it is a pharmacological remission, so this has to be very precise.
And I think it is time now that we talk about the microscopic reversal also.
Yes.
We want to see whether it is happening at the organ level itself. It may not be having in totality, but even if we are able to reverse damage to any single organ of a person, it adds great value to the treatment.
Yes. And reversal and or remission, whatever you call it, it is not for all. Basically, like we know that they are very, very selected patients for reversal or remission. Those who are like obese, insulin resistance, or like newly detected, or like a short duration of diabetes. And you need a very high motivation for these patients.
I think we hand it over to Tushar. We are running short of time, and it is already.
It is a long discussion.
Yes, Tushar, please, over to you.
No. Thank you so much for all of your words of advice. Really, a debate that's been raging on for a long time, and definitely requires a larger forum for discussion. And on that note, I think we'd like to thank Shivtosh